Don't be limited by other people's limitations. Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, please make sure you make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button, give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Eruption by Van Halen. Van Halen has been on my to-do list for so many years now. I've never listened to them, I've never been exposed to them, but I've heard of them and I've heard all good things, so I imagine I'm in for a treat, but I've just never dove in until now. So you get to watch me dive head first into the deep end of Van Halen. Before we get into the reaction, I wanted to thank the sponsor of today's video, Manta Sleep. Knowing that ambient light suppresses melatonin, which can exacerbate insomnia and lead to anxiety and depression symptoms, I've been wearing a sleep mask for a while, but as you can see with the one I'm wearing, light can still get in. Blackout curtains aren't aesthetically appealing to me, they're kind of frustrating to install, and if you leave them closed and have a dark room during the day, that can also lead to depression and further sleep issues. I also don't like my room being completely dark when I sleep, as I've had stalkers in the past, and I don't like the feeling that I would be at more of a disadvantage if I woke up to someone breaking in and had to fight them off. Here I'm unboxing my weighted Manta sleep mask for the first time, and first of all, I love the nice bonus of earplugs. So earplugs block out ambient noise while still allowing me to remain alert. There's something else I've used for a long time, but always need an extra pair. This mask is like earmuffs for the eyes. It's adjustable with a perfect seal. Seriously, not a single twinkle of light. Also, it doesn't touch my eyes, and I don't feel like my eyelashes are rubbing against it like with a normal mask, which could actually be an anxiety trigger for me. I switch positions a lot in the night, so I have to be sure I can side sleep and stomach sleep with it. The gentle weight on my relaxation points is really nice. I was concerned that this would put pressure on my eyes, but it absolutely doesn't. It's only putting pressure on these relaxation points around my eyes. Then there's this cute aqua fellow, which is my second favorite color, which of course I will eventually use for meditation after I binge listen to the new NSYNC song another 1,000 times or so. This has a built-in Bluetooth along with 100% blackout, so I can really get immersed in the music experience, which I love. Thanks again, Manta Sleep, for sponsoring this video and for giving me some of my sanity back by finally allowing me to have a decent night's sleep. Now on to the reaction, Eruption by Van Halen.
All right, so now comes my favorite part of the show. It's my favorite part of the whole evening. We've been on tour since March, and I have no better time, any time than right now, because I get to go sit down, have myself a nice cold one, and listen to the greatest rock and roll guitar player in the world, Mr. Eddie Van Halen.
Looks like there's a little bit of a pause. I see these little tufts of smoke, and I don't know whether to believe it's the cigarette or the guitar. But I remember when I did the Fade to Black by Metallica reaction, and I was saying, I don't know how fingers move that fast. And all of you must have been looking at me thinking, oh, hold my apple juice. That was apple juice. I'm gonna say that was apple juice that he was drinking before he got started here. A lot of water for his throat, but I feel like y'all were going here. You need to hold my apple juice because you haven't seen anything. And you were kind of right. I feel like I have just been under a rock. That I haven't been exposed to things like this, that I feel like I'm just in shock when I'm watching them because I cannot comprehend how people can achieve things like this. How your fingers can move that fast, how you can have that kind of accuracy. I just don't even understand how it's possible. Just to jump around like it's nothing. What's he doing? He's just lost. He is just lost in this, and I feel like I'm just lost in this, and it says something for me to be mesmerized by a guitar solo because as much as I hate to admit it, Oftentimes when I'm listening to a song, I am kind of off put by really long solos of any instrument just because I connect so much more with the lyrics. And I know this says guitar solo in the title, but I didn't know that it was only a guitar solo. I thought that there were some lyrics with a long guitar solo or something. I don't know why I thought that, but I feel like for me to be mesmerized, that really says something. For me to be looking forward to listening to the next, let's see, about 5 minutes of guitar solo really, really says something. But there's this gentle finger picking, then there's this explosive, fast paced sprint. And I honestly think that things like this allow us to work through complex emotions. And I never really thought of that before because I listen to classical sometimes, but I've never listened to a lot of classic rock, certainly never anything like this. But I think, you know, it's just darn enjoyable and it's enjoyable to relish in the talent while feeling like I'm working through some of my stuck points. So as I'm listening to this, I feel like there's these things coming up and just kind of processing, and it's really quite an amazing experience. does he not have a hand cramp? I can't even move my fingers that fast without trying to have any kind of accuracy or anything. I move my fingers don't move that fast. I've just got a hand cramp watching this guy. I know that a lot of times I'll see videos that my son's watching, for example, and the people have these exaggerated faces, and I swore I would never be that person, but I know that I'm going to have this exaggerated expression on my thumbnail because it was just really that intense. My expectations going into this were, okay, it's just gonna be a fun little rock song. Thought it would have some sex, drugs, rock and roll lyrics, and I got far more than what I bargained for. I just don't understand how this man's not worn out. But given that this is an instrumental track without explicit lyrics, it doesn't convey a narrative or a specific message that I can really talk about, like songs typically do, that I react to here on the channel, the ones that I typically cover. But with how emotional my last reaction was, this was actually the perfect way to process my own feelings, because it feels like with stuff like this, you can tell your own story and you can find your own meaning in it. So while you're listening to it, it's just bringing up whatever emotions are sitting there below the surface, and it's kind of allowing you to just process them while trying to pick your jaw up off of the floor. This was so fun. Thank you guys so much for such a fun experience. There were so many techniques that I've just never seen. I don't know if anybody else does them, but there were so many techniques that he was doing that I've just never seen before. So many sounds that were completely new to me. So I am looking forward to being schooled in the ways of Van Halen. So take to the comments and teach me thine ways, because my mind is blown. But I always say good, bad, and crazy, share your mental health story. So I'm kind of curious. I was saying that I found my own meaning in this. Do you guys find meaning like that in lyrics, or do you just sit back and go with the flow? I have a hard time turning off thoughts, but it allows me to kind of channel them in a certain direction. So I really liked that. And I think I'm going to be diving into more stuff like this in order to work through some of that. So, but always good, bad, and crazy. Make sure you're sharing your mental health stories here in the comments. That's how we shatter the stigma, is by talking about it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon.